Fox 35 just sat down for an exclusive interview with an alternate juror in the George Zimmerman murder trial. Here's a portion of that interview.
What did you think of the verdict?
Well, I supported the verdict. I agree with it.
And was there anything in the evidence, in the testimony, that really came out at you?
I think the things that I focused on when I was doing my own deliberation was the non-emergency phone call. I did pick up on some things out of Rachel Jantel's testimony, Trayvon Martin's phone records, or her phone records when they were talking.
Of course, Rachel Jantel is the friend that Trayvon Martin was talking to right before the shooting on the cell phone.
Correct. Yep. And the ear witness, I call them ear witnesses, the ones that heard the noises, which way the noises were going. They helped me fill a gap, and then a couple of the eyewitnesses. And I think the one thing that stands out the most is the injuries to Mr. Zimmerman.
What did you think of neighbor John Good's testimony? Talked about MMA style, ground and pound.
Yeah, I mean, what I got from that was just the motions that he saw. Whether it was ground and pound or MMA, it wasn't relevant to me. It was just the motions and the fact that who he saw on top and who he thought was on the bottom. I think those were the more relevant features of his testimony to me.
Did you think Rachel Jantel was credible?
I think, well, I did have some, I did pick up some credible information from her, and so yeah, I do think she was credible.
And whose voice do you think was on the 911 call?
Personally, I can't tell you who it was, but from the witnesses' testimonies and from the injuries to George Zimmerman, I believe it to be him.
You believe that it was George Zimmerman's
Yes.
voice? Yeah. And so you would have voted not guilty?
Correct.
What did you think of B37, the juror who spoke out? Did you see that interview?
I did, yeah. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised that anybody could come out that quickly and talk about this. I know that when I got done and was released and was asked about what I thought, I didn't even know where to start. I didn't even know what to say. So I was a little surprised that she came out as quickly as she did. I'm not surprised that it might have been that was her that came out, but I just think that was a little bit too soon.
And what's your reaction to all the protests, demonstrations, and talks of a civil rights complaint now?
I just don't understand the civil rights complaint. I didn't see the evidence there that in the courtroom that would make anybody believe there was a civil rights case for this. The protest, the people are going to be angry no matter what the verdict was, and there's nothing we can do about that. So I just hope that they're peaceful, and they just do it, as calmly, as quiet, and as best they can. And there's not destruction and not hatred and not a lot of anger towards the jurors.
And so when you heard the verdict, what was going through your mind, and how did it make you feel?
Well, what went through my mind was, my first impression was that I thought that it was an accurate verdict, and the next thing that went through my mind was how hard I know that the ladies worked to reach that verdict, and that they were proud of them for looking at the evidence and doing what they had to do to come up with the verdict. And
what was your reaction when you found out that you were an alternate?
Disappointed. I had a feeling it might have been an alternate, but because of where I was sitting. But I would have liked to have been in the room with the other five ladies and had a chance to talk about it. And you couldn't talk about it the whole time we were together. And it would have been a great time to be able to sit down and get their thoughts and what did they see, what did I see, to compare and deliberate. I wish I had an opportunity.